teníamos muy claro algunas cosas que queríamos que sucedieran, algunos objetivos dentro de esta segunda temporada. La serie debía tener continuidad, teníamos que crecer en recursos y en escenarios y teníamos que tener una buena historia. Los guiones debían de ser exactamente con esa tensión y esa adicción que tuvimos y que le dimos al espectador en la temporada 1. Mariano Baselga, además de repetir como productor ejecutivo, esta vez ha escrito y liderado el equipo de guión que cuenta además con Jordi Galcerán, Isaac Sastre y Cabo Larata. Gracias, Mariano, por esos guiones tan brutales. Tenemos un brillante equipo técnico que ha sufrido un montón para conseguir un barco del que os vamos a hablar sin parar todo el tiempo porque ha sido muy complicado conseguirlo y rodar en él. Estamos en 11 semanas de rodaje. Permitidme que os dé algunos datos de producción que creo que son importantes porque dan la medida de lo que estamos. El comienzo fue el 16 de mayo en Tenerife, donde estuvimos 6 semanas, el resto estamos rodando en Madrid. Son 6 capítulos, terminamos el 29 de julio y aunque la programación del estreno de los clientes no sabemos todavía exactamente las fechas y no podemos contaros ni las plataformas ni los territorios, tiene un impacto similar al de la temporada 1 y estaremos en pantalla en el 2023. Os hablaba de los hitos de producción porque nos costó encontrar 5 meses el buque escogido. El equipo que lidera Ana Vilella estuvo localizando en Cádiz, en Málaga, en Santander, en Ámsterdam, bueno, en muchísimos sitios. Finalmente apareció el carguero en Cádiz. Tuvimos que moverlo porque necesitábamos que fuera un carguero que estuviera en activo, no servía algo que estuviera retirado porque teníamos que rodar con la máxima realidad posible y esto implicaba que teníamos que sacar el barco de puerto. Son 150 metros de eslora y bueno, creo que es la primera vez en España que se fleta un buque de estas características para hacer una producción.
Vamos a dirigir la primera temporada, que me dieron la responsabilidad de dirigirla y también de alguna manera estar supervisando todo el contenido y el casting, ¿no? Que es algo que es en general poco habitual en un director, incluso siendo productor ejecutivo. Hay que compartir muchas de las decisiones y pasar muchos filtros, ¿no? Lo maravilloso de Media Pro Studio es la libertad creativa que me han dado, y la verdad es que es una realidad que en otros lugares no encuentras, o encuentras a media y aquí la encuentras al completo, ¿no? Cuando se planteó hacer la segunda temporada y empezamos desde la mesa de guión con Mariano, con Jordi y con Ran a plantearnos la serie, uno tiene la sensación de que conoce muy bien a los personajes, conoce ya muy bien qué es The Head, porque cuando estás rodando la primera, pues estás rodando pues, un thriller de supervivencia, hay elementos de Agatha Christie, estás en esta parte de la Antártida abandonados, pero no sabes muy bien que realmente estás creando sin darte cuenta una franquicia, lo que parece ser que es una franquicia. Entonces de repente, creando la segunda temporada, empiezan, no, es que The Head 2 es esto, no, es que es esto, y esto no es, y es esto, y es esto, ¿no? Y el espectador lo que quiere es, si en la primera teníamos Sarandonga, en la segunda tenemos que tener a Peret, ¿no? Y si en la primera teníamos una película, en la segunda también. Y si teníamos este tipo de violencia, la tenemos que replicar. Y al mismo tiempo, tenemos que darle al espectador algo nuevo y lanzarla hacia otro lugar, ¿no? Entonces, esa parte ha sido preciosa, la de formar parte de la creación de la historia, y luego dar vida a este increíble grupo de personas, actores, que me han acompañado para traerlo a la realidad. Esta temporada creo que es más interesante a nivel psicológico y de personajes. Los personajes tienen más desarrollo, tenemos más espacio, más tiempo, más decorados para conocerlos, y también es un pasito más allá en el survival thriller. La parte de supervivencia en medio del océano es un reto que nos pusimos a nosotros mismos precisamente para no repetir un poco los recursos, porque siendo el high concept el mismo, de hay un asesino entre nosotros, era muy fácil repetirse, ¿no? Entonces el reto era precisamente llevar la historia por otros derroteros muchos más complicados a nivel físico y a nivel psicológico. Esto es imposible sin un equipo técnico impresionante como David Acereto, que repite la fotografía, y este año tenemos a Patrick Salvador haciendo el diseño de producción. Bueno, siendo no solamente muy rigurosos a la hora de hacer el trabajo, sino muy exigentes conmigo, con el material y con todas las propuestas, ¿no? No hay nada más maravilloso de un equipo técnico que no hace lo que tú dices, sino que intenta sorprenderte, ¿no? Tú pides algo y te dan 4, ¿no? O al revés, o te dan una cosa que no es lo que estás pidiendo porque intentan convencerte de que es mejor para la propia serie, ¿no? Y ahí te das cuenta que a mí me gusta mucho hablar siempre de los proyectos como bebés, te das cuenta que el bebé ya no es un bebé, ya es un niño, es casi un adolescente caprichoso y al que tú le tienes que estar dando, ¿no? Bueno, eso es de G2, la verdad, no solamente es un producto audiovisual para el mundo, sino también es una experiencia que nosotros vivimos en la manera de hacerlo, ¿no? Y estos señores que están aquí, tan callados y tan serios, lo que hacen es que mi trabajo sea más fácil, ¿no? Creo que hay una sinergia absoluta, ¿no? Ellos creen mucho en mí y yo creo mucho en ellos, ¿no? Y esa especie de extraña familia es lo que hace que cada escena no nos conformemos con rodar una escena, ¿no? Queremos que sea la escena de la serie. Y yo creo que hasta ahora, lo que hemos rodado, nos quedan 2 o 3 semanas, lo hemos conseguido. Y le doy la palabra a alguno de ellos, ¿no?
You know, season 1 was hard, it was tough, but it was inventive, it was fluid, we had a great time, and this season is the same and more. I think the big thing for me, the difference in Arthur, is at the end of season 1, he's accused of a series of murders which he did not commit.
I like to insist on that.
Yeah. You know, he's probably culpable for one, indirectly, but he has a series of murders after his name. So there is, first of all, that huge issue of injustice, which can break any man, can enrage any man or woman. The second thing is, which I always tried to stress with Jorge, was he spent a year in prison, which is a long time. And I think that probably, combined with the injustice of the accusation, the false accusations, but the year in prison, I think, broke him, and I think he reassembled himself. And he reassembled himself in a way that covered the brokenness, but maybe not quite as successfully as he would have wished. And I think that was always so. There's a huge fissure inside him, and I think that we always talked about that. I always stressed when we talked about season 2 that the year in prison was hugely important. I think in terms of where Arthur goes in season 2. So there's a savagery to him. He's wilder. He's not as contained. He's not as affected. He's much more present. He's much more immediate. And I think all that time in prison has brought that to him. And I'm sure he suffered more than once in prison. And probably things of another nature too. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. Thanks, man.
I would love to see a show about that.
The second phone call we made was to Catherine. And if I can reveal the conversation we had, at some point, Catherine was contemplating whether to join season 2. And we had a very honest call. And since I knew what Mariana and the writers have in the script, I started describing the plot line of what Maggie is doing in season 2. And by the end of that conversation, Catherine says, wow, I want to be there. And then we met last week after one of the scenes I described to you, and then you said it was worth it. So season 1 has you doing something very, very peculiar, acting very shy, naive, and introvert, while at the same time you're doing other things. How is Maggie different in season 2?
Yeah, well, first of all, very excited and happy to be back. And yeah, in season 1, Maggie is very innocent, she's very fearful, definitely playing the victim, but that's throughout, and you only kind of find at the end that that's not who she really is. So season 2 for me was about exploring a person capable of what she does do in season 1 and the murder she commits. And I wanted that to feel really true and believable, and I had an idea during season 1 of who she really was, but we never got the chance to explore it, so that's been really exciting, and exploring her history more, her relationship with her mother, her relationship with her sister, her obsession with Arthur, and yeah, just kind of going deeper with like the darker side to her. So it's a very contrasting character, because she is just an imposter in season 1. So finding this kind of very complex, feral woman who she really is, has been very exciting, especially as an actor. Like the privilege of playing two very contrasting characters is a great challenge and really, really enjoyable. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming. So to assemble a group of scientists and sailors and keep everything secret on a boat sailing in the middle of the ocean is not an easy task. So we had to recruit an ex-SAS commander. He's sitting right behind me, Mo. And I think Jorge and I, we found Mo after we saw a film, which we thought was very close to your character in the head. That was before. Now you're almost 2/3 done. How do you see this season? How do you see a role in the head?
Well, what drew me to this was watching season 1, being a fan of season 1, and not being able to pinpoint why I thought it worked so well, but then realizing that it's from the very first opening shot, the tracking shot, the one take, and the ensemble, and the vitality in the performances, and the naturalism, and the trust in the process from the actors to the director. It was something very original and authentic, and I just really enjoyed it. I'm a fan of John Carpenter and those American psychological whodunits, but this, even though this dealt with climate change and scientific research, it was always done in a way that dealt with the emotions and the humanity, and that's a credit to John and Catherine and the rest of the crew. So I wanted to delve into this one. And I also knew that getting a bunch of actors and putting them on a freighter ship and sending them out to sea is no easy task, and I'm glad that in real life I wasn't in charge of that. But I did a bit of research before joining, and I asked Chris Riley, who was involved in season 1, great actor, and Olga Worley from Ireland, your mom. And I said, okay, what am I getting myself into here? And they said, do it. They're team players. It's going to be a collaborative experience like you haven't had yet. Dive in, and what I've learned is working with Jorge and the trust from the cast every day is a joy with this cast, with this crew. I wouldn't rather go to sea with any other bunch of lunatics.
So let's start diving into the team of scientists. One of them is a marine biologist. She's also a almost professional diver, and also the daughter of one Dr. Arthur Wilde. So Olivia, which of the three was the hardest? How was it to jump into a relationship that already exists? And how is it being a daughter of such a powerful character?
I think the most demanding for me definitely was the diving. Becoming a professional diver in, I think I had 4 months prep. When I first read the script, I saw that she was a free diver, and I went, right. And I started booking swimming lessons, and I started prepping, but I've always loved swimming underwater, so it was something I felt really confident doing, and I had such a great team of people in Tenerife to practice. It was such a dream on my days off, getting to go to Radisson and swim and dive, so that was wonderful. And then I think the relationship with Arthur, I mean, that was my big daunting challenge. It was something that's not mentioned in season 1. So we really come in and we have to see the journey of their lack of relationship to it being one of the most important relationships she has on the boat by the end. And I think that journey, getting to come in with the first scene, showing that they don't have a relationship, they haven't worked out their boundaries, how they talk to each other, how they be father and daughter. And I think it's been such a joy trying to work that out with John, and I mean, hopefully getting it right, and I know it's been a joy.
There's also a bunch of sailors who operate the ship, otherwise it wouldn't move. And one of them, who I think did, because a lot of people did a lot of efforts in getting to this season, but I think none has done so much weight-wise in getting into his role. And Hovik is playing the character of Charlie, which is a very different kind of sailor. And if you could tell a little bit about your role and what you did, and how was it to gain all that weight that you're losing now for your next role?
want to say the last thing?
The last thing is the accordion effect that you have in this series, because you've gained so much from us, but now you're losing it for somebody else.
Lo primero que quiero decir es que a mí los guiones me han parecido mediocres. Trabajar con Jorge ha sido un absoluto infierno. John Lynch es una estrella absolutamente insoportable. Y de los productores no quiero ni hablar. Gracias. Ha sido un placer estar aquí. Dicha esta gilipollez, para mí ha sido la hostia, ¿no? Cuando conocí a Mariano en la reunión esa que tuvimos en Madrid hace octubre, ¿no? Sí. Ahí estaba yo, bueno, con mis cosas mías, de procesos míos, pero estaba en 101 kilos. Y me flipó el guión, me flipó lo que me contó. Le dije directamente, eso es mío, eso lo quiero hacer, vamos a llegar a un acuerdo. Y ahora estoy en 147. Entonces me he puesto 46 kilos. Me dijo, necesitamos esa que... Estamos muy contentos de tu proceso, hemos visto tus entrevistas y tal, y estamos muy contentos de que estés bien, de que te estés recuperando, pero ahora necesitamos un animal, necesitamos un bicho. Y ahí empecé a entrenar, a hacer powerlifting, a comer, y poco a poco pues iba metiéndome en esta transformación. Y físicamente pues lo conseguimos. Luego un momento muy potente ya en Tenerife, que preparas todo el personaje, preparas todo y el primer rodaje pues no funciona. Estábamos Jorge y yo ahí dándole, no funcionaba. Y ahí, si me permites que lo diga Mariano, de repente una noche, y ya termino, fue como que me vino y digo, hostia, lo que no encaja, había un fallo, lo digo aquí porque se lo dije a él, había un fallo en el guión, ¿no? Bajo mi punto de vista, mi humilde punto de vista, y era que pedían como un tipo con un retraso. Y de repente era como que no era un tipo con un retraso, era un niño en este cuerpo. Y de repente al primer día, después de un fin de semana de crisis, sobre todo jugando al ¿sabes qué? Con él y con Mariano y con Caratayud, Chapi apareció y a partir de ahí fue puff, volar hacia arriba. Y estáis todos muy contentos, así que para mí ha sido un honor compartir trabajo con todos vosotros y creo que es para mí personalmente es un paso muy importante en mi carrera porque es el personaje más complicado que he encarado. Gracias, Dorado.
La está muy bonita que fue que nos llamaba. Durante todo ese fin de semana nos llamábamos por teléfono porque nosotros estábamos pensando quién era Charlie, y de repente le llamé y él ¿no?
Le llamé, yo no lo cogió y entonces me devuelve la llamada. Y entonces le digo, jefe, me dice, ¿hablo yo o hablas tú? Y le digo, absurda pregunta porque tú eres el jefe y el director y el productor, entonces hablas tú y luego hablo yo. Y me dice, porque cuando grabamos el flashback con Enrique, antes de meternos en el barco, eso es lo primero que grabamos y sufrimos mucho esos 2 días porque a Jorge le parecía que en los planos cortos yo haría mucho los ojos, que era como muy grande todo y yo es algo en lo que no pienso cuando trabajo, no es mi trabajo es hacerlo. Si es muy grande o no es muy grande es una cosa que depende de ellos y del operador y del director de foto. Entonces me dice, he visto un montaje de lo del otro día. Yo llevaba 2 días volviéndome loco. Y me dice, es la hostia. Entonces ya empezamos a hablar y digo, tío, es un niño, no es un... Entonces nos llamamos mucho hasta que finalmente hicimos la reunión los 3 y en esa reunión ya entró Charlie. Y fue como que estábamos todos de acuerdo y a partir de ahí. Pero ese fin de semana fue, espero, y ya termino, la importancia para mí es muy importante preparar el trabajo en los 2 meses de antes. Y puedes llegar, no me había pasado nunca, y puedes llegar el primer día y dan acción y se cae todo al suelo y dices, es como si te subes al ring y vas a tirar a la izquierda y no sale. Y dices, hostia, ¿qué pasa? Pero el entrenamiento está, y el entrenamiento estaba. Entonces conseguimos hacer un girito y de repente entró Charlie con toda la fuerza, ahora que lo veáis otros y que os parezca una puta mierda, que también puede pasar. Thank you very much. To everyone.
I'm happy you're happy.
So, media professional for you this job. I didn't have tradition for it. They're really pretty adamant about you working in this series. I hadn't seen I actually I'm not too much of a binge watcher, to be honest with you. And I actually saw it, I clicked on the link and I saw the 6 episodes in a row. The next day I called my agent and I said, we have to do this. I was on location, I came back right before Christmas, and then I met Mariano Macelga. I saw his excitement. It was an easy sell. And then he spoke about my relationship with Hovik. I had been in the same show with Hovik, but I hadn't worked with him a single scene. We just had a very funny press junket of season 5, and I really liked the guy, his energy and everything. But what really did it was when I got the first script. I'm not a binge watcher. I'm not a binge reader. That's for sure. And I read all episodes with my character was a part of, and I said, this is amazing. It's not to discredit season 1, which I loved. It was the main reason why I wanted to keep on going. But I was mind-blowing, and I said, I really want to do this thing. Now it's a 100% sell if I had it in mind. So, 2 months down the road, after all this thing that happened with Boba, I know that from the production side it was kind of complicated. We didn't know when we were going to start. And then I have to say it was an amazing experience because just the last piece in place was meeting Jorge Dorado, which I really had very high regard for his work. And then this bunch of really amazing actors and people that made it so much easier. The only thing that was a little complicated for me was to shoot in the ship. Wasn't easy, very long hours, very hot. The noise, I still think, I've recorded videos just to say, this is what we're facing every day. It was like really complicated, but it was so beautiful that we actually did it in a real ship and a platform. So, I mean, it's just, as I say, I never give 10 to anything because that's for God, but it's like a 9 and a half. So,
9.5 weeks of.
So proud to be part of this great team. And, y luego también ha sido una super experiencia trabajar con Hovik, con lo que he dicho, con Jorge, y está todo muy por encima de las expectativas que tenía. Very much more increase than what I expected first time.
Qué bien hablas español.
Está hablando lo mismo.
Qué bien habla español este chico.
I can do my Hebrew now if you want.
I'm so happy we're here now in the studio, and it just gives us a whole other range of creativity and something else that we can work on. And one of the things that I liked a lot about in season 1 is also like how the one takes and how the camera was able to move through like the whole
choreography.
Yeah, the choreography of it all, and that's what we were able to do here. And I'm really excited to have that in front of us now. And I'm so happy that you're going to get to see this amazing lab. And I mean, it was also a bit strange for us the other day when we walked onto set, and it was the boat set, like the interior of the boat, and I think we all felt a bit confused because it felt so real that it felt like we were back on Tenerife on the boat and on the oil rig, and yeah, and then we got hurt, so we stayed with our minds a bit.
So to talk a little bit about the internationality of the cast, we went from Spain to Sweden, now to France. The real captain of this boat is Thierry, who plays Captain Renault.
No, it's not the real captain. The real captain, I'm the fake captain.
For the viewers.
How is it, Commander?
How is it, Thierry, working with actors that come from different countries, different styles, different schools of acting? How does that feel?
Very difficult sometimes.
Okay.
But it very interesting. Thank you to my partner. It was very patient. It's. I would like to repeat this experience because in French it's difficult to speak another language. I don't know why, my generation. And it was incredible. I have a test in Spanish because hablas español a little bit. Sorry.
We don't see that you're reading it, no problem.
Okay, estoy muy contento de estar en Madrid, la capital del fútbol, del cine y de la televisión y de la calor. Ahora entiendo por qué Madrid es el campeón de Europa.
Muy bien.
We need to talk football later.
No, it was incredible. Thank you very much for my Jorge, for the productor, for my partner. It was very good.
So the last piece of the puzzle, also calendar-wise, because when we casted Sota from Japan to do the role of Yuto, it was clear to us from the beginning that schedule-wise, he's going to come last to the set. And that required Sota to do a lot of hard work back in Japan. So, and how does it feel right now?
Yeah, I just want to say first is, it's an honor to get the series second season of the Head. Yeah, actually this is my first time in a national TV show. Yeah, at the beginning I had many butterflies in my stomach. Then, yeah, but thanks. They're so nice. The cast and the stars are very nice to me. So, yeah, thanks to it, yeah, I just have one butterfly in my stomach right now. I was very busy in Japan, and then I had a lot of things to do. I had prepared for everything using English, acting in English. Yeah, this is very hard for me, but I think it's very good experience for me. And then, in addition, what I was super surprised was the moment when I saw the huge ship, and then it's real. So not like not like computer graphics thing. Yeah, so I can feel it. We can feel it. We can touch it. We can smell it. So it's really helped me to get the realistic. Thank you.
It's always a thing when you cast somebody Zoom, and then to say, because Jorge I think said it in one sentence, which is not that simple to say, and he spoke about the freedom in creating the show, and I want to thank Laura, who was also my boss and my friend, but I really want to thank her, because I think for us to do this show in the way the studio allows us to do it is phenomenal. The ability to really create and break the bonds and break the barriers and tear the envelope and create a show that is moving forward. I think all along the journey, what the studio always told us is do it. Do it better, do it bigger, do whatever you want to do. And we share the same ambition. And I know we're not committing to anything, but I hope to see you all again here in 2 years.
Of course.
For the third season of The Head, because we're not planning to stop. And this is, as Laura said, a franchise for the Media Pro Studio. I'm proud to be part of the studio. I'm proud to be part of The Head. And thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
You're welcome.